Okay, so something pretty big is happening in Sri Lanka's digital world. We're talking about a whole new frontier opening up for online gaming. And today, we're going to break down what this is all about. But before we dive in, let's just zoom out for a second. We all talk about wanting a safer internet, right? But what does that actually look like, in the real world? Especially when you think about something like online gaming, where things move so fast and, let's be honest, fairness and security are absolutely everything. Well, it turns out a brand new player is stepping onto the scene in Sri Lanka, and its arrival, it's signaling a huge shift, one that's designed to answer that very question. So you might want to mark this date down, December 18th, 2025. Why? Because that's the day a new platform is set to launch. And believe me, it's a pretty major turning point for the country's whole digital economy. And here's the name, CashMonkey.lk. Now hold on, this isn't just another gaming site for iGaming. That's your online betting and casino games. No, this is different. It's a pioneering hub, and the key thing here is that it's built to work inside a brand new government-approved legal framework. And that's a first for Sri Lanka. So to really get why this launch is such a big deal, we gotta take a step back. We need to look at what things were like before. The kind of wild, unregulated world it's about to enter. And that really brings us to the heart of it, doesn't it? Why was this change so necessary? I mean, what was the actual problem they were trying to fix here? Okay, so this was the reality before. Imagine this. With no real regulation, you, the consumer, had zero official protection. Players had no idea if the games were fair. There was no legal system to back you up if things went wrong. And transparency? Forget about it. It was, to put it simply, a really risky environment to be in. So to deal with all that uncertainty and risk, the government stepped in and basically said, all right, it's time for a brand new rulebook. And this new rulebook, it's called the Gaming Regulatory Authority Act, or the GRA Act for short. And its whole purpose is, well, it's simple, but it's super powerful. It's all about creating a real, formal, legal structure for the industry, basically taking it out of the shadows and bringing it into the light. When you break it down, the Act has 4 really clear goals. Number 1, make the whole sector transparent. Number 2, and this one is so important, protect consumers. Number 3, set up national standards so everyone knows what fair actually means. And finally, number 4, push for responsible gaming practices everywhere. Okay, so we've got the new law, the new rulebook, but what does that mean in the real world? Let's talk about what it's like to game with a safety net. And this is where that new player we talked about comes back in. CashMonkey.lk. They're lined up to be the very first platform to launch that is fully compliant with this new GRA Act. You can kind of think of them as the flagship, leading the charge into this new regulated era. And you can really see what they're all about right here in this quote from their spokesperson. Their mission, they say, is to provide a safe, thrilling, and legally compliant environment. The words that jump out are safe and compliant, right? That's a direct response to all the problems of that old, unregulated market. But what does a fancy term like legally compliant actually mean for you, the player? Well, it means the platform has to follow national rules. It means you're guaranteed that the games are on the level, it means you're playing in a secure space, and it means the platform has a legal duty to be fair. It's a game changer. Okay, let's boil all this down. What's the new bottom line? What's the big takeaway for online gaming in Sri Lanka? I mean, the shift is just crystal clear when you look at it like this. We're going from unregulated to legally compliant, from a world of consumer risk to one of player protection, and from all that uncertainty to real trust and transparency. It is a massive, fundamental change. So here's the key takeaway. A whole new chapter is about to begin. The launch of platforms that follow the GRA Act means that secure, transparent, and fair online gaming isn't just going to be a nice idea or a promise anymore. It's about to become the new reality in Sri Lanka. And that kind of leaves us with one last thought to chew on. As this kind of regulation starts to reshape one part of the digital world, creating these new benchmarks for safety and trust, you can't help but wonder, right? What's the next big play for Sri Lanka's economy? I mean, what other areas might be next in line for this kind of change?